The US Justice Department has charged an Iran-based man over a plot to kill President-elect Donald Trump, allegedly sanctioned by the Islamic Republic's military.
Well, for more on this breaking news, we're now joined by our Global Affairs editor, John Lyons, who's in Washington for us. Now, John, this is major news out of the United States. Could you just detail the charges for us?
Oh yes, Fauzia. What the Department of Justice has said a short time ago is that there was an Iranian asset working in America called Fahad Shakeri, who is now still on the loose, believed to be in Iran, but that he'd been to jail in the United States. He'd served 14 years in an American jail after being convicted of robbery, and while he was in jail, he apparently met these two people who would become his accomplices in this plot. The plot, according to the Department of Justice, was to kill Donald Trump and two other Americans who were vocal critics of the Iranian regime. And according to the Department of Justice, so those two Americans who were part of this alleged plot are now in custody in New York. And the plot is believed to have been devised by, according to the Department of Justice, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, who are the enforcers in Iran. And in 2020, Donald Trump ordered the killing of one of the IRGC's commanders, Qasem Soleimani. I've recently been in Iran, and when you're in Iran, particularly, various places in the city in Tehran, you'll see a lot of pictures of Qasem Soleimani, who's regarded as a hero of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And so this is a plot that is starting to unfold.
John, what can you tell us about the two of the people, as you say, who are in custody now, but they were involved in the plot as well? What do you know about them?
We know that, according to the Department of Justice, one's Carlyle Rivera, 49, of Brooklyn, New York. The other, Jonathan Lodholt of Staten Island, 36. They were charged today in a criminal complaint in connection with their alleged involvement in the plot to murder a US citizen of Iranian origin in New York. And this morning in Brooklyn and Staten Island, the FBI made their arrests. Shakeri remains at large, but it's believed that Shakeri had met these two while he was in prison, and Shakeri it's quite strange, this side of the story, but he had apparently, he'd been under surveillance himself for a long time, but had also conceded certain things to the FBI, whether that was knowingly or when he was being recorded. But he has himself given details of this plot. The strange thing about that is that, having given those sort of details or having been under surveillance, how was he allowed to leave the United States? That's still an unanswered question.
All right, John Lyons there, our Global Affairs editor there, speaking to us from Washington. Thank you.